Female CEO drove for her own ride app, then picked up a single dad who was quietly braking. Vivian Cross had spent 6 years building RideLoop into one of the most downloaded rideshare apps in America. But on a rainy Thursday night in Chicago, she discovered she did not know how to look normal inside a sedan. The rented car was too clean. That was the first problem. The second problem was Vivian herself. She wore a plain gray hoodie, jeans, and a baseball cap pulled low over her face. In theory, she looked like any other driver waiting near O'Hare for a ride request. In reality, she had arranged the water bottles in the back seat at a precise 45-degree angle, wiped the phone screen with a microfiber cloth, and checked the floor mats as if investors might inspect them. The driver beside her, a man in his 60s with a RideLoop sticker peeling off his windshield, leaned out of his window and studied her. "You knew?" Vivian adjusted her cap. "Yes. You look like you're pretending to be poor but still have excellent dental insurance." Vivian's mouth opened, then closed. The man grinned and drove off. She looked at herself in the rearview mirror. Too composed, too punctual, too much like a woman who had once used the phrase mobility ecosystem in public without being legally stopped. Tonight she was not Vivian Cross, CEO of RideLoop. Tonight she was Vivi Lane, part-time driver, average rating not yet established, apparently suspiciously flossed. The undercover test had been her idea. For months, complaints had piled up inside RideLoop's internal channels. Drivers locked out of accounts after false customer reports, appeals denied by automated responses, ratings punished for traffic, unsafe neighborhoods, passenger misconduct, or restaurant delays in the company's newer delivery add-on. Customers had become kings. Drivers had become variables. Her COO Monica Ray Reyes had called it operational noise. At scale, Monica argued, every system created edge cases. Vivian used to agree, but lately the edge cases had started to sound like people falling off cliffs. Her phone chimed. First ride, pick up Morgan. Caleb location, South Loop Logistics Warehouse. Vivian accepted before she could overthink it. The warehouse stood behind a row of chain-link fences and sodium lights, rain turning the asphalt black and glossy. A man stepped out from the side entrance just as she pulled up. He was tall, mid-30s, shoulders bent in the way tired men tried to hide from the world. His jacket was soaked. In one hand he carried a small birthday cake box, the cardboard sagging slightly at one corner. He opened the back door carefully, as if the cake were more important than he was. "Caleb, that's me." He slid into the seat, holding the cake on his knees. "And this is a structurally compromised vanilla emergency." Vivian glanced at him through the mirror. "Do you need the heat? I need a universe where rent glitches and disappears from the system. But heat is also good." Despite herself, Vivian smiled. His voice carried humor, but not lightness. Humor, she suspected, was the tape he used to keep himself from splitting open. She pulled away from the curb. Caleb checked his phone, thumb hovering over a message. His face changed for half a second, then rearranged itself into something softer before he answered a call. "Hey, Mom." Vivian kept her eyes on the road, but his voice filled the car. Yes, he was on his way. Yes, he had the cake. No, he had not forgotten the candles. Yes, Lily could wear the astronaut crown, even if it technically belonged to last year's Halloween costume. Then a smaller voice came through the speaker. "Daddy, did work kidnap you?" Caleb laughed. The sound was warm and heartbreaking. "No, Bugs, I escaped. I'm on my way." His eyes met Vivian's in the rearview mirror, and for one unguarded second she saw the truth. He was not fine. When the call ended, he held the phone a little too tightly. "Birthday?" Vivian asked. My daughter 8 today. She believes birthdays are scientific events and cake is required for data accuracy." Sounds like a rigorous researcher. She is. Terrifying peer review. Vivian liked him before she wanted to. Then he added, almost casually, "I used to drive for RideLoop. Back when my life had a second income and fewer dramatic plot twists." Vivian's hands tightened on the wheel. "Used to? Account got locked. Customer complaint." He looked out the window. "False, but the app didn't ask me for my autobiography." Vivian felt the words land beneath her ribs. "What happened?" He shrugged, as if shrugging could make humiliation smaller. A passenger had tried to bring extra people into the car, more than legally allowed. Caleb had refused. The customer reported him as aggressive. RideLoop suspended him pending review. The review never came. Then came the warehouse job, the late daycare pickups, the missed shifts. Tonight, apparently, the warehouse job had ended too. He did not say all of that directly, but Vivian heard enough. The app pinged suddenly. "Accident ahead. Route delayed. Plus 18 minutes." Caleb saw the delay on his own phone. The birthday cake box shifted under his hands. His fingers pressed into the cardboard, and the frosting inside slid visibly to one side. He went very still. 18 minutes meant missed candles. Vivian looked at the map. The app recommended staying on the main route. It would preserve her driver score, avoid penalties for deviation, and follow the optimized path her own company had trained drivers to obey. There was another way, lakefront, riskier in rain, slower on paper, faster if the lights were kind. The app flashed a warning when she turned. Route deviation detected. Vivian ignored it. Caleb looked up. "You know the app hates that, right?" "I know. You're the first driver I've ever met who looks more afraid of disappointing an app than a cop." Vivian gave a small, guilty laugh. Rain blurred the windshield. The lake appeared to their left, dark and restless beyond the road. In the back seat, Caleb held the damaged cake like it was the last proof he had not failed his daughter completely. Vivian drove faster than the algorithm wanted, but not recklessly. For the first time in years, she did not care what the system preferred. She only cared that a little girl got to see her father walk through the door before the candles burned out. And as the Ride Loop app kept warning her she was off route, Vivian Cross began to understand that perhaps the route was not the only thing wrong with the machine she had built. Vivian got Caleb home with 4 minutes to spare. The apartment building sat above a laundromat and a closed nail salon, its brick front softened by rain and yellow hallway light. Caleb thanked her too quickly, already unbuckling his seat belt with the panic of a man who had promised a child he would arrive, and then had spent the whole ride calculating the cost of being late. He lifted the cake box, then froze. The frosting had shifted during the lakefront turn. One side of the cake had collapsed inward, dragging a blue swirl of icing across the top like a small, delicious weather disaster. Caleb's face fell. For a moment, the job loss, the rent, the locked Ride Loop account, the warehouse manager's final warning, all of it seemed to gather inside that ruined birthday cake. Vivian saw it happen. He could survive losing work. He could survive humiliation. He could survive the private fear of not knowing how to pay bills. But disappointing Lily on her birthday might finish what the day had started. Before Vivian could offer anything useful, the building door flew open. A little girl in a silver paper crown appeared at the top of the steps, wearing star-patterned pajamas and purple socks. Behind her stood an older woman with kind eyes and a dish towel over one shoulder. "Daddy," Lily Morgan ran down 2 steps, stopped because Grace told her not to fall on her birthday, then bounced in place with scientific impatience. Caleb held up the cake box as if presenting evidence in court. It had a rough flight,